coach at Sloan Westwood. And Brad, 1977, the last time that your club was down here. It's a couple of newcomers in this 2A final. Talk about how your team has handled it.
Well, I think we've just kept playing the same type of game we played all year. We try to control the tempo a little bit, look for the type of tempo that is most advantageous to our ball club, and play that style of game, and we've got a pretty smart team out there.
You've really taken some of the mistakes out of the game, haven't you, by slowing the tempo?
Yeah, we've averaged probably less than 10 turnovers a game this year, and the longer I coach, the more I realize you don't throw the ball away. You got a chance to win.
Talk briefly about the folks back home in Sloan. Not since 1977 have they had a team down here. I know the town was vacant earlier in the week.
Yeah, we've had a super following. I think the whole town may be down here today. There's actually 5 towns involved there. So, but they filled up our section yesterday, and they're all fired up and ready to go tonight.
Closing here, give me a comment on what you think about Coach Christensen's team.
Well, I think they're going to be a tough matchup for us. Everybody in this tournament has been a tough matchup for us. They've got a couple big kids, real quick point guard, and a nice, quick forward there that we're going to have to stop.
Well, congratulations on the season. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll go back upstairs. We've got another semifinal to finish up here. Jim, Larry?
We do, with Davenport North leading Mason City 32-27. We'll be back with the start of the second half in just a moment.
When you shop any of the 63 Fairway stores, Iowa's most economical food store, you'll find the finest USDA choice beef cuts in their full-service meat department. Fairway also has a wonderful produce department with a wide variety of farm-fresh fruits and vegetables. And be sure to look for these specially priced products at your local Fairway store. Proud to bring you the Boys State Basketball Tournament games. You'll find everything you need at Fairway, Iowa's most economical food store.
And around we go, ladies and gentlemen. 22 black, red loose.
A compulsive gambler will gamble away their possessions, everything they own or can borrow. They gamble on football, basketball, horses, dogs, cards. A compulsive gambler will gamble away their friends, their family, their life. If you can't stop gambling or you know someone who needs help, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Sir, are you out of the game?
The 1996 Iowa Boys State High School Basketball Tournament is brought to you in part by Farm Bureau Insurance. Farm Bureau, living beside you, working for you. By Norwest 24-hour Loan Express. Need a loan? Dial 1-800-2-NORWEST. By Fairway, Iowa's most economical food store. By the Iowa Gambling Treatment Program. 1-800-BETS-OFF. And by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Iowa. You just can't beat the Blues.
The halftime score, Davenport North 32 and Mason City 27. Mason City took a 2-0 lead. That was their only lead of the ball game. At the end of a quarter, Davenport North led 18-13, and here at the half, they lead it by a score of 32-27. Jim, we take a look at first half highlights, and basically we're going to see a lot of Dean Oliver and Ricky Davis. No surprise.
That's what we thought, and we haven't been disappointed. They both played outstanding basketball, and yet they both blended in with their team. There's an unbelievable athletic play by Dean Oliver, reverse underneath the basket. Coming back the other way, and an unselfish play right here, pass to Ricky Davis, under control, and that's what Davenport North's been able to do. Play fast, but be under control.
Mason City is a big inside, too.
Big play by Harriman. That's a difficult play for a big guy who's 6'10" to run, catch it in the air, and lay it in all in one motion.
Davis hit back-to-back threes that gave Davenport North a one-time a 9-point lead.
And then here's Dean Oliver really turning on the afterburners, taking it strong to the hole. He is a strong little guy for just a junior in high school. That's impressive, his strength and balance that he has, along with his quickness and speed.
We take a look at the first half numbers, and I guess one of the big questions would be, can Davenport North shoot 50% in the second half?
Well, they can if they start out shooting 80% in the third quarter, because anything plus 80% is going to equal 50%. I think you're going to see not that type of explosive start by them. That was just an unbelievable start. And Mason City's hanging there, not really shooting the ball as well as they've shot it all year at almost 50%.
The interesting thing about Davenport North in that surge, though, was that they just couldn't miss at the outset, and then they really do cool down. Now we take a look at the scoring leaders. Oliver, 12 points, leading the way from Mason City. Anthony McQuay with those early threes, the scoring leadership for Davenport North.
I think you're going to see if Davenport North is going to be successful, they're going to get more balanced scoring from most of their guys. Whereas Mason City, probably Dean Oliver and Harriman are going to have big second halves to get them back in the game and have a chance to win this game. Those are their two big scorers.
And of course for Mason City, another guy, Steve Heston, their other big tower inside at 6'10", did not score in the first half.
Yeah, and he's averaging, 8 or 9 points, 6 or 7 rebounds a game. It's like the first game, we're looking at the end of the game, the guards didn't score. They've got to do their part, or somebody has to rise up and play well enough that replaces that.
And so at the half, it is a 5-point lead for Davenport North. Again, the winner of this ball game goes into the 4A title game tomorrow night against Iowa City West. The Trojans knocking off top-rated Cedar Rapids Jefferson earlier today, 54-43.
I know Iowa City West is saying we're going to play ball control no matter who we play. We're not going to get in a running game with either one of these teams.
Yeah, boy, you're absolutely right about that. So we're just about ready to have the start of the second half. By the way, some consolation games played earlier today. The 1A consolation game, Linville Sully in overtime over Guthrie Center by a score of 66-65. Josh Vanderwerk, 26 points and 10 rebounds for Linville Sully. The 2A consolation game, Wapsie Valley with a 104-63 victory over Mid Prairie, as a 21-point performance by Josh Wiedemeyer led the way for those three-pointers. So Wapsie Valley and Linville Sully, the 1A and 2A consolation winners respectively. And of course, coming up tonight, a couple of championship games. As you heard, the 2A game, which will be the second game of the night, North Polk and Westwood. And in the 1A game, Winfield Mount Union will take on Rock Valley. So we've got two more exciting games coming up. And right now, J.D. Rios and his ball club thinking about how they're going to maintain a 5-point lead over the team we look at now, Mason City.
Well, I think the biggest thing, they established confidence. They believe they can win this game. They've led it for a half. They've been able to do whatever they wanted to do offensively. They've hit the outside shot. They've run the fast break. They just want to come out and reproduce that first half. And I think his kids have confidence. On the other hand, Mason City's got to come out and continue to control tempo a little bit better, force them to miss shots so they can get the defensive rebound, which then allows them to run and attack Davenport North. So I think a big key is how well Davenport North is able to shoot this half.
And the answer to that coming up very shortly, as we're just about to get started with period number 3. Mason City making their 19th appearance in the state tournament. Only Davenport Central has been here more times. They've been here 21 times, with Mason City and won titles in 35 and 40 and 43. Last tournament appearance when Dean Oliver was a freshman here a couple of years ago, and they lost in the first round. But basically, over the years, what great basketball tradition in Mason City.
Tremendous, and I was here that night when he was a freshman, and I said, oh my goodness, is this kid, he's ready to go play now. I mean, he was a good player then. Having that experience certainly helps him now, and he's playing very well today, and I expect him to have a super second half.
Now, again, you didn't think depth would be much of a factor, but I would point out that Davenport North played only 6 players in the first half, while Bob Horner and Mason City played 8.
But you know what? They've done it all year, and they're used to doing it. So I think at this point, your adrenaline is going. You don't feel that fatigue until this tournament's over.
Both teams send their starters back on the floor. For Mason City, it's number 11 Peterson, 21 Oliver, 33 Bartell, 53 Harriman, 55 Heston. For the Wildcats, who have the ball, 21 Shad Burridge. For 23 Ricky Davis, 31 is Kyle Burridge, 35 is McQuay, and 11 is Sisk.
First game, first possession went to the team ahead, and they came out and scored. We'll see if this happens again. I know Mason City would like to have a good defensive hold here and go down and get a basket.
Sisk trying to break down Oliver. That's McQuay, who had a red-hot first half. As you saw, got 13 points, better than his average on the season, which is 11.5. Sisk gets it down.
Box and one that time on Ricky Davis. 2-2 zone with the one-man chaser on Ricky Davis. We'll see if they stick with that and try to take him out of the game.
Did Davenport North recognize it, did you think?
You know, they may not have, because they were just doing their normal flow of movement, but they'll know the next time down.
Peterson pulls up and nails a 3. First points of the game for Mike Peterson.
Look at this. Mason City comes out and presses Davenport North now. The pressee becomes the presser.
Davis on the drive, fouled by Harriman. Larry Morgan and Jim Hallahan at Veterans Auditorium in Des Moines, the 4A semifinals. Davenport North with a 34-30 lead over Mason City, just underway, 1 minute into the third period of play.
I think Coach Horner thought, let's go press them a little bit. Let's get ourselves going. Let's not worry about how they're playing. Let's get us going at a little bit higher speed here.
And again, free throw shooting is a real problem from Davenport North. They are now 1 of 7 at the line.
Boy, and that looked good, too.
Yeah, it really did. And it's a 5-point lead for the Wildcats. Davenport North coming in with a 7-game winning streak. They were 7-5 overall, not ranked at the end of the year. Turn around by Oliver, bounces in.
Davenport North was in a man-to-man defense that time, allowing Dean Oliver to penetrate down the middle and did a nice job on his pull-up.
Burridge takes it to the paint.
Oh, nice soft touch.
6'4" Shad Burridge. And so we talked about, could North come out and start the quarter the way they did the game? So far they have.
So far.
Straight up, straight up.
Peterson looking down low for Heston. The big guy muscles his way in and is fouled.
Throw him in there, throw the paint. White.
Heston to the free throw line.
One, shooting 2 guys.
With the foul, Shad Burridge, his 3rd. He's the first player for either team with more than 2.
It hasn't been the factor it was in the first game when everybody had 3 fouls, seemed like.
And J.D. Rios will take him out of there with 3 fouls in favor of Aaron Blanks.
Well, we'll find out your philosophy on the bench because they just took him out. Now we'll have to see how his replacement does.
We talk about Davenport North not hitting their free throws. Mason City really not getting the opportunities. That was just their 6th free throw attempt of the game.
And you would expect them to shoot a lot of free throws with their big guys inside.
And they are now 3 of 7 at the free throw line. And so the score remains 37-32 in favor of the Davenport North Wildcats.
Mason City able to stay in their zone, haven't had to be pulled out.
McQuay almost had an offensive rebound, but it's taken away from him by Peterson. Bartell with his 2nd field goal.
Boy, that's important. If they can get some scoring out of him this half, that takes the pressure off of Dean Oliver, and that's going to pay dividends.
Bartell averages about 7 points a game. Here's McQuay taking it to the hole.
Outstanding drive over the big guy.
15 for Anthony McQuay, the 5'11 senior.
Tremendous drive.
And Davenport North continues to shoot very well.
What you want if you're Mason City in that zone is to shoot them outside, and they're not doing it. They're attacking the basket now. They hit the 3-point shots early, but now they're just attacking the zone.
Burridge gets around Blanks to score. Harriman, I should say, Harriman with his 9th point, and it's a 3-point ball game. You know, for all the ink that Dean Oliver gets, and deservedly so, I like the way that Sisk runs the offense for Davenport North.
Playing very, very well. You looked at the balanced scoring they had the first half. If they can continue that up and keep their players all involved in the game, they're going to have a good chance at this game.
Davis loses but recovers.
A little bit hotter shooting this half for Mason City. 4 for 4 from the field, and Davenport North start out 3 for 4, so they're at that 75% mark.
The block by Heston. And a foul's called underneath.
Got the
Heston
ball.
went for the block.
You will see him do a nice job here, clean on the ball, but gets the kid with the body. And they're going to call that every single time.
And that is his 2nd foul, so he will now leave the lineup. And Mike King takes his place.
Maybe that's the best play on Mason City. Make fouls and have the other team miss free throws if they're going to continue shooting that way.
Aaron Blanks really has struggled at the line this year. He just got 4 makes in 15 tries.
That almost spreads to the team. That's not a bad-looking free throw right there, and it just doesn't go in. 2 for 8 from the free throw line so far for Davenport.
Well, if you're J.D. Rios, that's got to be driving you crazy on the Davenport North bench. Davis getting the position, tried to get the tip. Harriman takes it away from him. Sisk, the lob for Davis. Now it's Burridge on the baseline. And Harriman clears it off the glass. Oliver to the middle of the floor. Oh, how'd that go in?
Whoa, 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 what a shot. What 2 great athletic plays The lob pass to Ricky Davis doesn't go for the dunk, but it was an unbelievable play. And Dean Oliver comes down the floor and twists around in the middle of the lane and makes the shot.
It's a one-point game. Davis for three.
Mason City has not missed in this quarter.
McQuay for three.
And Davenport North hasn't missed much.
No, not at all. What a shootout. We're seeing it at the barn now. And it is a 4-point lead for Davenport North at 3:26 in the third quarter.
100% for Mason City, 80% for Davenport North. Whew.
That's the first Mason City miss of the third quarter. McQuay hit one a moment ago. Leaves this one way short, and King comes up with a rebound.
Oh, nice look down floor by Dean Oliver.
The layup by Bartell.
Bartell again. I think he's a key guy in this game. He's that other guy they need to get scoring from, and they're getting it. They're just about back into this game and a chance to tie if they can hold him here.
2:50 left in the third. Davenport North with the ball in the lead of 2. Iowa City West is already advanced. They knocked off the #1 team, Cedar Rapids Jefferson, 54-43.
This time they're boxing one on McQuay.
Harriman, a bundle of rebounds. Oliver.
Great play. Change of pace. Unbelievable change of pace. Fooled the defender. Went in, drew the contact, got under control again, made it in for the basket.
We got to see that one again.
Hard to describe this play. Great concentration. His body was almost parallel to the floor when he actually shot the ball, but he never took his eyes off the rim.
And now he has a chance to give Mason City their first lead since they led 2-0.
Well, they've only missed once. They're 7 for 8 from the field. But then Davenport North shooting great right now, too.
Oliver with 18 points, living up to his advanced billing. Said he grew up idolizing Dr. J. He's got 19 points to give Mason City just their second lead of the game. And there's a timeout on the floor. Now, here's a word from your local station. Mason City has taken their second lead of the game on a 3-point play by Dean Oliver.
Well, these are the kind of baskets that excite your teammates, too. Little guy goes in there, gets contact, makes a basket. They're excited now.
He then converted the free throw to give the Mohawks a 1-point lead. Davis looking down low for Shad Burridge. And coming out with it is Oliver. Dean Oliver. And the rebound taken down by Tate Featherstone, the first time that he's seen action in the game. And what, you look at that shooting in the third period.
Just the opposite of the first quarter.
It really is. Sisk misses the open J. That's the way it's gone for the Wildcats in this stretch. Peterson. And the rebound taken down by Shad Burridge.
Tough miss there for Mason City. He did a nice job with another change of pace and got to the basket and just couldn't finish it off.
Wildcats trying to regain the lead. A travel will be called against Shad Burridge.
7 turnovers for Davenport North.
The Mohawks have it with 1:26 to go in the third period.
It'll be interesting to see what Davenport North does now. They can't lose their excitement in their style of play, but they've also got to be able to make things happen in a positive way.
Into the lineup now for the Wildcats is they will come back with Aaron Blanks. You saw Tate Featherstone leaving. I got to think from a momentum standpoint, this is a huge possession for the Mohawks. Well,
and
didn't last very long, did it?
Very long.
Now, on the other hand, if the Wildcats, who've twice come down the floor with a chance to regain the lead, don't get the job done, then they've got to start getting frustrated.
Well, they did a nice job getting the turnover there. I think as long as they can create those turnovers, they're going to feel fine.
Burridge on the follow.
Nice shot among the big guys.
8 for Shad Burridge. Davenport North regains the lead at 44-43.
Boy, he kept that ball up high and shot it so quick the big guys didn't have a chance to block it.
Bartell out front for the Mohawks. There's Oliver. Sisk tries to stop him, but Oliver outquicks it. Heston wants to put it back, and Heston draws a foul. Steve Heston, who's not scored, will get the opportunity now.
Good offensive rebound. Just couldn't, he kind of lost it on the way back up. Didn't have a chance for the three-point shot. Needs to convert these free throws. And Mason City hasn't been shooting the free throws very well either.
No, they haven't. On the season, they're a 70% free throw shooting team. But today, they have really struggled.
Under
4
50%.
of 9.
Under 50%. Sometimes it's who's shooting the free throws, too.
Heston, a moment ago, as you see, went to the line, missed them both. But he hits this one to tie it at 44.
There's only 27 seconds left in this quarter. This game is flying by. These teams are playing so well and so fast.
And the score stays tied at 44. It's been a tough shooting period for Davenport North, but they've got the last possession of the apparent last possession of the third quarter with a chance to take the lead.
The thing that's impressive about it, though, they've shot poorly and they're still tied up.
Sisk takes the three. Burridge misses the follow, and it's a tie game after 3 periods. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Mason City 44, Davenport North 44. We'll be back at Veterans Auditorium in just a moment.
The big beef is the money-back guarantee. So when you choose Blue Ribbon beef, you get the best quality. It's aged for tenderness.
It's leaner.
It's guaranteed.
If you're not happy,
Consistently happy.
I'll give you your money back with a smile.
I know my business. I've got 15 years of experience.
21 years.
35 years of experience.
Only the best gets a blue ribbon. And I'll put my name on it.
Blue Ribbon beef. It's better beef. You be the judge. Only at High Beef.
The pass is complete. No, he's out of
And he
bounds.
was in bounds? Now that catch was good. Sarah, I want to see
No,
this.
don't push me like that.
Will you all get out of here? I just want to see this
Are
game.
you betting again?
Don't bother me. Just get out of here, all of you.
You promised.
I don't want to talk about it.
To a compulsive gambler, it isn't a game. There's more writing on the outcome than you know. To learn more about compulsive gambling and to get help, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Time now to check out excitement on the floor with Fairway's Fan in the Stand, brought to you by Fairway, Iowa's most economical food store. Let's go to Tim Seaman in the stand.
Hey, thanks, Larry. This Mason City team's got a lot of great fans. I'm with one of them. Lance Johnson played on the '89 team that got beat by a club from Waverly that had Mike Bergman on it, but I hear you haven't missed a game since.
No, I've been to pretty much every game. This year they look tough. We did get beat out by Waverly, but hopefully we can pull it off this fourth quarter here.
All right, here's a bag from Gatorade and Fairway. Enjoy the rest of this game.
All right, thanks a lot.
Let's go back upstairs.
I hear you.
Okay, Tim, thanks. Both teams come back onto the floor with their starting units intact. As far as foul problems, Burridge, Shad Burridge with 3 for Davenport North. Mason City has no one with more than 2. Try to get it inside to Harriman. He got a couple of touches there, Jim, but they continue to cover him up well.
Good pressure defense. Don't put that ball on the floor and then inside. You won't end up with it. There it is. Turnover.
They've got big numbers. They've got 3-on-2 numbers, and a foul's called on Bartell. Matt Bartell's first foul. Well, percentages so far in this ball game have gone with putting North on the line.
Well, we'll see. They got to make them now. It's the fourth quarter. It's the semifinals of the state. If you're going to go on, you're going to have to make these free throws. So maybe that's not a bad foul.
Kyle Burridge, 1 of 2 from the line.
I keep waiting for you to tell me one of these guys has a high shooting percentage.
I'm not sure I see one. And that gives Davenport North a 45-44 lead. That's the first point of the final period of regulation.
Mason City's got to handle the ball here and get shots. They can't get it inside and then lose it and turn it over. They have to be aggressive, and they got to be strong with the ball.
Ricky Davis, no field goals, second half so far. Davis comes up with a steal there. If Davenport North's going to win, he's going to have to get back in the offense, isn't he, Jim?
Yep, and he will. Another good play on defense. It looked like an easy basket inside.
Sisk on the drive.
And there's the little guy getting in among the Giants again, freezing the defense, penetration, and scoring.
He's got a bucket in each quarter, 8 points for the ball game.
You don't expect the little guy to do that against his zone.
Sisk averages about 4 points a ball game, and you know your point guard doesn't have to score to be effective. Oliver on the miss, Davis with a big rebound. Somehow he never got the handle, but the Wildcats tried to keep the basketball and did because they got the timeout.
Sure did. That was close to a travel there, but he didn't try to get up with the ball. He stayed on the ground, called a jump ball, maybe the timeout. I don't know if the timeout came before the jump ball or not.
And there is a timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
We'll take a look at 53, please. Over here.
There are bounties in life you couldn't begin to measure, and yields that take a generation to know. For that other crop coming up, there's Basis post-emergence herbicide. Basis has won past control of the grasses and broadleaf weeds that worry you most for about $12 an acre, half the cost of most pre-programs. Basis, 'cause life's a harvest, and corn isn't all you're raising.
Life is full of choices. Like yesterday, I couldn't decide whether to meet friends for lunch or stop at the bank and talk about a loan for this new computer. Then I realized I could call Norwest 24-hour Loan Express before lunch. They asked a few simple questions, call me back after lunch with approval. Today, I got this loan check in the mail. There's no easier way to get a loan and enjoy lunch with your friends.
Phone today, funds tomorrow.
At 1-800-2-WEST.
At Veterans Auditorium with 6:22 left in the fourth quarter. It's Davenport North 47 and Mason City 44. Let's take a look at our Norwest key stats.
Mason City down to 46% after having that great start. And Davenport North moved up to 45. So you can see it's just another turnaround. This game's been going momentum. Some team makes 5 or 6 in a row and the other team misses them all. Now it's turned around in Davenport North's favor again.
Davenport North with the basketball. They called the timeout after Ricky Davis had trouble getting the handle, but wisely finally got the possession and got the timeout. Not a pretty trip down the floor for him, but the Wildcats have it.
Again, Mason City's defense trying to protect that lane area with their big guys.
Davis gets challenged by Heston. Davis gets it back. And now Mason City with it. Here's Peterson. In the middle to Harriman. Ricky Davis from nowhere to block Harriman. How about that defensive play by Ricky Davis?
That was a great, great block. And Harriman stuck in there and got it back again and got it blocked again, but stuck in here and got fouled. Wow. Ricky Davis up above the rim on that, pins it. Harriman gets the ball back. Another piece of it knocked, and finally they get him on the arm there.
If you're 6'11", you're not used to having many of your shots blocked.
That's
the left-hander puts in a free throw.
That's why you have to keep that ball up high. Once you bring it down to your waist, you become a 5'10" player because the ball then has to go back up, and that's when people have time to block it.
Harriman hits them both, and it's a 1-point lead for Davenport North with 5:42 remaining. Harriman now with 11 points. Oliver with 19, the 2 leading scorers for the Mohawks. McQuay with 18 points, leading Davenport North. Ricky Davis has 11, but no baskets in the second half.
Again, I think somebody else has got to step up for Mason City here. It just can't beat Oliver and Harriman. They got to get some contribution from someone in this fourth quarter, get a couple baskets.
The pull-up by Shad Burridge, and the rebound is taken down by Dean Oliver.
The little guy was up there for that rebound. That was a heck of a defensive rebound for Oliver.
Mohawks playing for the lead. Bartell trying to break down McQuay. And Davenport North comes out with it. Here's Davis. Thought he was going to pull the trigger that time, Jim.
Yeah, I sure did. And a nice penetration by Sisk, being under control and dumping it off without running over somebody. He's doing a nice job for them. He's run their team very well.
Davenport North, 17-5 record, champs of the Mississippi Athletic Conference, 13-3 in league play, making their 4th state appearance. Last year they wound up 4th, beating Oskaloosa, then losing to Ankeny and East Waterloo.
Mason City's missed their last 7 shots here, and it looks like Davenport North might be content to hold on to this ball for a while.
4 minutes to go.
And why not? If they're not going to come out and get them.
Davis challenges Heston. And again, the Wildcats will pull it back out.
This is what Davenport North wants now. Now Mason City's in a man-to-man. They're big guys. Harriman and Heston have to come out and guard the smaller, quicker players. And yet, if there's not a lot of pressure, they don't have to shoot the ball.
With North struggles at the free throw line, I would have to think you'd go out and pressure.
Well, they haven't fouled him yet. They've held the ball for almost a minute. I think if they're going to foul, they need to probably start doing it and taking a chance of getting the ball back.
But there's still plenty of time left. We're still at 3:18. It's a 1-point lead for Davenport North. They spread the floor. This is what they do anyway in their basic offense, is they spread the floor. They just got it spread a bit wider.
Yeah, and they're good one-on-one players. They're all good ball handlers. They don't have a bad ball handler on the court. And that makes this work. If they're comfortable doing this, this is the key. If they're mentally comfortable with doing this, it'll work. If they get frustrated and try to force something, then they could have a problem.
Well, that time they showed great patience and poise. 3:01 left in regulation. It's Davenport North 47 and Mason City 46.
He's going for it all. It's complete. Touchdown.
To the compulsive gambler, gambling is more than just a game.
3 aces. Read 'em and weep.
It's more than good times with good friends.
And they're off.
It's a prison. Often a prison the compulsive gambler cannot escape. Not without help. Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. Set someone you love free.
When you shop any of the 63 Fairway stores, Iowa's most economical food store, you'll find the finest USDA choice beef cuts in their full-service meat department. Fairway also has a wonderful produce department with a wide variety of farm fresh fruits and vegetables. And be sure to look for these specially priced products at your local Fairway store. Proud to bring you the Boys State Basketball Tournament games. You'll find everything you need at Fairway, Iowa's most economical food store.
Davenport North had only 1 lead in their ball game against Sioux City West. That was when Sisk hit the game-winning shot with less than 5 seconds to play, and they won at 50-49. In this game, they've had the lead all but twice. The drive by Davis, but he leaves it short, gets his own rebound.
Good offensive rebound without fouling there. Went straight up, got it back to a teammate, and they have control of the ball again. That's not what Mason City wanted.
Interesting timeout by J.D. Rios, because they held the ball for a little over a minute, called the timeout. Now it looks like they're going to get back after it offensively.
I think he didn't know if they were struggling with if they knew what he wanted them to do. Do you want us to hold it? Should we attack? Oh, great steal by Oliver.
Oliver on the finish, and Mason City regains the lead. 21 for Oliver, and the Mohawks are back in front.
Sis makes a nice pass on penetration. Just doesn't get in there, but boy, he made a good play.
jump ball called. The possession arrow will keep it at the Davenport North end. So with 2:12 to play, Davenport North with the basketball down by 1.
Oh, great steal. Came from behind the offensive player, makes a steal, and then has a very difficult shot at the end.
Mason City burns a timeout. We're at 2:21. Mason City has just their 3rd lead in the ballgame. They led at 2-0 at 43-42, and they now lead at 48-47.
It's a tough call for Davenport North because they're such an up and down team and having success doing that, and yet you get to lead by 1 point, and now you're holding the ball, and they're not really comfortable. Momentum kind of goes away from them now, and as you can see, whoo, now the momentum's with Mason City.
Listen to Bob Horner. Bob Horner, 239 victories and 136 setbacks. He's been at the state before. Coach Lake Mills to the state in '86, and of course has been here. Now we watch him trying to direct his team.
I'm sure he's telling his team, hey, hold on to the ball, be strong with the ball, be aggressive with the ball. Don't put it on the floor in a crowd. Just move the ball and get good shots and rebound.
J.D. Rios, who has built the Davenport North program. A tournament team that has been here 3 times in the 90s.
Well, they're not going to hold the ball now. They're down 1. They'll get aggressive again. It's a matter now, can they turn it back on after they turned it off for a possession or 2?
Nobody close to the bonus yet. Davenport North 14 fouls. Mason City with 3. Possession arrow points towards Mason City. 1 timeout left for Davenport North and 2 for Mason City.
Mason City in a man-to-man defense. Again, that favors Davenport North's quickness. Harriman's out there 20 feet from the floor, from the basket. On defense. Look for a dribble penetration.
McQuay guarded by Peterson. Well guarded by Peterson. McQuay was hot early. He shuffles his feet. He walks. Turnover by McQuay. The 10th turnover by Davenport North.
Well, that's a tough play because he makes the basket. He makes the basket. It's called off because of the walk.
And so the ball goes to the Mohawks with 1:43 left and a 1-point lead.
Now the tables are turned. Mason City has a 1-point lead. They got to get the ball across half court here. And I think they'll have a hard time holding on to the ball for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
With the quickness of the Wildcats, I would agree with you.
They're the better free throw shooting team. They want to hold it. They want to get fouled, and they want to make their free throws.
Oliver is the best free throw shooter out there, 86%.
Even in this situation, though, you still want to look to be aggressive, and if you get the advantage, you can take it to the hole and score. You want to do that.
Oliver trying to take it to the hole, goes into a crowd, and no bucket, no basket. He's fouled before the shot.
Was that a great shot, though, even though it didn't count?
Yes, it was.
I mean, to get under control like that after he was going full speed. Watch this. He makes a crossover dribble, a reverse dribble, turns it on, and right at the end, plants with 2 feet and goes straight up. That's a tremendous athletic play.
And there's a good foul by Davis, because not yet in the bonus, so he doesn't even get to the free throw line because he fouled prior to the shot. So we're into the final minute of play. Mason City with the ball on a 1-point lead.
Now that becomes a factor because time goes off the clock. You want to foul, but it doesn't do any good until they get in the bonus. Next one will be bonus, though, from Mason City.
Burridge with the foul there, Shad Burridge. Or make that Kyle Burridge, and that will be his 3rd.
Tell you one guy, you don't want to foul Dean Oliver.
Nope, not at 86%, you don't. 54 seconds left in regulation. Timeout taken with Mason City leading Davenport North by a score of 48-47. So Mason City's got the ball. As you pointed out, Davenport North now with 16 fouls. So on the next one, Mason City will shoot free throws.
Well, they can go out and really gamble hard now, not do the intentional foul, go for the steal, but if there's contact, okay, put them on the free throw line, see if they can make under pressure, come down and have a chance to score. You got to get the ball back, though.
J.D. Rios on the bench of the Davenport North Wildcats.
I would think now he wants something at the offensive end, though. He wants to control the shot that takes place at this offensive end.
We cannot waste any time now. How many times we got before the bonus? The next one's the bonus. The next one's the bonus. No, not yet. Not yet. If you do, don't foul Oliver. Get somebody else. Now, I don't think we need it right now. We're going to wait about 10 seconds to see if we can get a turnover. Right now, it's face guard. Dead ball right now. The ball.
I think what he's telling them, don't be afraid to foul. Just don't foul Oliver. Don't put him on the line.
I heard him say something about 10 seconds. Did he make any reference about trying to get the ball in 10 seconds and then foul somebody other than Oliver?
Possibly that. Maybe try to get a 10-second call in a pressure defense situation.
Meanwhile, Bob Horner on his bench for Mason City. His team has a 1-point lead with 54 seconds to play.
Do you come down? Do you get the shot for Ricky Davis? I think he's only scored maybe 1 point this half, but he's your big-time player. He's a guy you want to have the ball.
You're right. Davis only 1 basket, 1 free throw. Or no baskets, 1 free throw in the half.
Mason City's got to get the ball in bounds here. This is a difficult place to get the ball in bounds on the side if they put pressure on the ball, which now they've backed off of, and double-teamed Oliver, and he still gets it. Whoa, that was
nearly
close.
A steal by Sist. And there is the foul from behind by Davis. And that is the 7th foul called on Davenport North.
We talked earlier, you know, the Martell kid has made some big baskets. And we said somebody's got to rise up. And who they foul? Bartell.
And I remember you identified him. Now, he's got his opportunity. Matt Bartell, a 6'2 junior. Bartell to the free throw line with 46 seconds to play. His team with a 1-point lead. Big rebound by Burridge, but he has it knocked out of his hands. It's Mason City ball.
Ooh, there's a break there. Harriman actually almost had a basket on that offensive rebound and got knocked out of his hands. Bad break, good break for Davenport North.
Bartell inbound. Harriman, Davis, all to him.
My time, it's my time.
The officials take a timeout.
He got hit in the eye. Ricky Davis did a good thing. He waited for him to catch the ball, and then he came up with his hand trying to make the steal and actually got a finger in the eye.
And so he will try to shake that off as you look at Bob Horner directing from the Mason City bench.
Good call by the official to stop the game, make sure he's okay.
Now Mason City does not have to score to win. They've got the 1-point lead, but chances are they'll be at the free throw line in a moment, and they wind up fouling the guy they least wanted to foul, Dean Oliver.
Exactly. You know, Bartell had the ball. If you're going to foul a guy just missed. The pressure's on the guy that just missed. They didn't get to him, and they tried to double-team Oliver, and they fouled him.
Dean Oliver, again, an 86% free throw shooter. During the season, he hit 120 of 140 free throws. But he misses that one. Davenport North down by 1. Davis trying to bring it down. The foul called on Mason City, and it's called against Mike Peterson. That's only the 4th team foul called against the Mohawks.
That's a break for Davenport North. They don't have to shoot a free throw.
Yes, it is.
They have a possession. They have a chance to make a basket.
Sometimes you don't want to be in that situation if you're a defense.
That's right. Oh, big steal.
Huge steal. Sist tries to get it back, and he fouls.
You know, I actually think they were trying to foul on that play to make the steal, and they didn't get called, and they got the steal. That was a tough play for Ricky Davis there.
Now, Dean Oliver, a guy who loves to play under pressure. The odds that he's going to miss 2 in a row aren't very good, are they,
I don't think so. I think this will be all net right here. But they're going to call timeout. They're going to try to freeze him, I think.
86% free throw shooter. There is the timeout called by J.D. Rios and the Davenport North Wildcats. Oliver will be on the line when play resumes with 15.1 seconds. But remember, the best he could do would give Mason City a lead of 3, which would give Davenport North an opportunity.
And they started the game out by making 3, so they still have a chance. There's 15 seconds with the teams this fast. Is about 3 possessions, I think.
Well, it's the type of ball game that you would expect teams to play when they're a step away from playing for the state championship.
Exactly. The only thing that's happened here, the points have just stopped being scored. The excitement's still here. The great plays are still here. They just haven't been making many baskets at the end of the game.
You talk about not many. one basket apiece in the fourth quarter. We listen to Bob Horner.
15 seconds, okay? You're going to be on Davis. We don't want to give it free. Our team foul situation is 4, so we don't want to foul in the act of shooting, but, you know, we don't want to give them anything out there. They're out of timeout. If they're way out in the perimeter and things are running, go ahead and go for the ball and foul them, then they got to take it out again. But match up in the man. You're going to be on Davis, okay? You're going to be on 35. You match up with 21, okay? You two guys match up. Don't give it free. Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, more.
Well, you can see he talked about using those fouls in case the clock gets running down and maybe you're at a disadvantage. Go ahead and make a contact foul that's not intentional. The problem with that is if you try to go for a steal, you might create a driving lane for somebody.
Bob Horner on the bench for Mason City. At the free throw line for his ball club is Dean Oliver.
The other thing you don't want here, if it's a missed free throw, you don't want to foul. Sometimes you're better off getting your guys off the line, and then there's no chance for Harriman to go over the back of somebody on a missed shot. I think they think Dean Oliver's going to make this shot.
He got the bounce. It looked like it was going to be short.
That was a 1-for-3 shot. It missed twice and went in the third time.
And it's a 2-point lead for the Mohawks. This is a big one.
They're still just at 50% from the free throw line for the game.
Davenport North needs a 3 to tie it. And a timeout was taken.
Foul.
A foul called.
Not a bad foul because Ricky Davis had just taken advantage of the defensive player and was going to beat him, and he fouled him.
9.9 seconds to go.
Easy, man, easy!
Again, it requires a 3. Davis will take it.
Harriman on the rebound. Oh, fouled.
Harriman is fouled with only 1.9 seconds remain. It appears Mason City's on their way to the championship game.
The player took it, you want to take it, and the guy got the rebound and had to get it. That's all you can ask for your best player to have a shot at the game at the end of the game.
If you're Davenport North, you could still tie it up with a miracle.
Yes, and I've seen that happen. A missed free throw, catch it, shoot it in. It's not over yet.
But if Harriman hits this one, it is.
It's over.
And Harriman, for a big guy, great touch at the free throw line. Today, he's 3 out of 4. On the season, he's 69%.
And now you see all the other players away from the free throw line. What you don't want here is a foul, and he's got him off the line, so there's no chance of fouling somebody. That's it.
And now it's over. And Mason City will use a timeout. But right now, as they slowly walk to the bench, Davenport North knows there's nothing they can do.
Tremendous, tremendous effort by that team, though. I tell you what, they played against big guys like that, and the way they rebound the basketball, and they just played super. You hate to see either one of these teams lose.
And they probably had the lead 28 minutes of this 32-minute ball game.
Sure did. And it's just the opposite, like you said, from the other night when the only time they led was at the end of the game. But this was almost a championship game in itself. The big thing here will be Mason City. You know, can they gather that up again now and have that great effort against an Iowa City West team that's going to play tempo basketball?
J.D. Rio coaching his ball club to back-to-back state tournament appearances. Last year, his ball club lost by 23 to the eventual champ Ankeny. Well, they may wind up losing again today. It appears they will, but they showed great improvement.
Sure did. You know what he's telling them right now? He said, hey, don't hang your heads, man. You played great. We still, who knows? Don't give up. The game's not over until the seconds tick off the clock. You played great. Let's finish strong here.
Dean Oliver's 23 points, leading the way for Mason City. Again, in the fourth quarter, just 1 basket per ball club. But the difference is the Mohawks at the free throw line have had 5 out of 7 in this final period, and the Wildcats did not get to the free throw line in the fourth quarter.
You never thought the game would have ended like that in the fourth quarter, the way the first 3 quarters went up and down the floor in so many points.
Not at all.
Advances. Great ball game.
Mohawks don't lead much today, but they lead when the final horn sounds, and they win it by a score of 52-47.
Tough basketball game. I don't think people gave Davenport North a chance really against Mason City with their big guys and their high ranking and their great record. But Davenport North came in here and just played outstanding and had a chance to win the game right till the very end.
And that is the end of the game with the final score: Mason City 52, Davenport North 40.